In this video, I'm going to talk about what is exciting for me today. I'm going for a checkup after being full carnivore for 6 months. I started this journey 6 months ago on June 6th. Today's December 6th, so it's exactly 6 months. In those 6 months, I've lost 62 pounds and all of my aches and pains have gone away. I would lay in bed at night thinking about how unhealthy I was, how big I had gotten. Like I said, I was 316 pounds and wasn't working out. Just really let myself go. I knew that I needed to make a change. Did a lot of research. I had tried other things before. Decided to go animal-based, full carnivore. Started listening to Dr. Barry, Dr. Shawn Baker, Anthony Chafee, a lot of specialists. My whole life I loved meat, loved red meat. My parents used to tell me I eat too much of it. But really, in essence, what I found out is I was eating too much sugar, too much breads, too many carbohydrates, and so going full force carnivore, the changes it's made for me, it's made me a believer. So I have two parts of it. One is convincing myself this was a good move, and really looking at the scientific data. And this amount of time listening to experts, dietitians, experts on cholesterol, hearts, you name it. I've learned so much in 6 months about how the body works. I've also learned so much about marketing, big business, big pharma, what their motivations are. I would say that we've probably been misled, if not downright lied to, over the past 30, 40, 50 years when it comes to health, diet, nutrition. What I'm psyched about is today, I go get blood work done. The person that I am meeting with today, I met about 4 years ago. My wife and I really wanted to get pregnant with our second child, and I was having some issues. And I didn't know if it was me, if it was her, I didn't know what it was, but she really wanted to get pregnant again. And one of the ways, if you start looking through reproduction, health, is weight. Get the weight off. It certainly helps many things. So I reached out. Father-in-law had approached me and he said, hey, I don't want my daughter back, so you have to live a long time. What are you doing about life insurance? And if something happens to you, how are you going to take care of the family? And it was a two-pronged approach. One was to get pregnant again. The second one was to take care of the family in case something did happen to me. So I went on a journey. I found a awesome expert in the field of weight loss, nutrition, and I did fantastic. Within, I'd say, 6 to 9 months, I had lost probably 50 or 60 pounds. In fact, I am lighter now than when I was when I had met this individual that helped me. And I'm actually, as of this morning, I'm 1 pound lighter than I was then when I had my physical for my life insurance. I took care of the life insurance. We ended up getting pregnant. Everything worked. I was feeling fantastic, doing things I hadn't done in a long time. Throughout the 9 months of pregnancy, my wife and a baby, not sleeping, I put on 65, 70 pounds in about a year. That put me to my highest at 316 pounds, which today when I weighed in, I was 256 pounds. So I've done that with, and then most recently losing that amount of weight from June 6th till now, is taking all the principles that I learned through Lee helped me before, also incorporated many of the things that I've learned through YouTube, through Dr. Barry, through Dr. Baker, through Dr. Chafee, through Dr. Burns, all these specialists on animal-based diets. Dr. Boz was an awesome addition to my library. I think I have like 35 or 40 doctors that I listen to religiously on their content. So today we're going to do a full blood workup, check things like testosterone, vitamin D3, my mineral levels, my calcium scores, my It's basically a full blood panel. Now with Lee, we have this records of my blood work going back about 4 or 5 years, I would say. So now I'm doing it every quarter, every 3 months. And so I'm really excited that today is blood draw day and we get to see how things are working inside the body. And I'm going to continue this for a year. I can't say enough about it. One of the things that I'm going to discuss with Lee today is being in ketosis and ketogenic diets, fat content. When I would cheat before, she would say, you need to do a steak day or a steak burger day. We stripped everything away for about 45 or 50 days, and I would add in one thing at a time, and I would journal. And what I found out was that chicken, I did not lose much weight with chicken. If I ate too many eggs, I could say to have a sensitivity to the egg white. The yolk is where most of the nutrition is, where most of the fat is. But we experiment with apples and berries, introduced other things. But at that time, I did not use a glucose meter. I did not use a keto meter. And I had lost 45 pounds fairly easy, switching to carnivore, animal-based. And I was mostly eating beef, steaks, burger, occasional roast. But what I found out was my weight loss would really stall if I didn't get enough fat in my diet. So I tended to go towards more fatty cuts of meat. The whole narrative that they have spun with fat is bad, I think I'm pretty much over that. I've learned that my body needs and likes fat. I don't gain fat, but when I do it, I'm actually losing fat. To back all that up, I was listening to Dr. Boz, and she was talking about the Keto Mojo glucose meter. It's a glucose ketone meter. You prick your finger, you put a strip in. And I think I'll do a video on using it because it's really easy to use. What I learned was I had lost that 45 pounds really easy, and I kind of plateaued. And I would play with my diet, I would play with how much I ate. Listening to Dr. Boz, my wife said, you should get one of those meters. So I did. Actually, she did. She ordered. She goes, I'm getting it for you. I just want you to use it. It sat there for a couple weeks. I got frustrated. I wasn't losing any weight. Tried to convince myself that I was losing inches. But really, I went on for about 4 to 6 weeks where nothing was happening at all. So I pulled out the Keto Mojo glucose meter and keto meter and sat there one morning and did it. I was like, whoa. How the first reading, I think my blood sugar was 118 and my ketos were like 0.2. And I'm like, how in the world can my glucose be so high, and how am I not producing ketones if all I'm doing is eating meat? So I went back, I looked at my journals, and I was having some cramping problems, which sometimes you have when you go keto. I had added to my diet LMNT. It's a electrolyte, and I was using it with, it's not sugar, I forget what the sweetener is in it, but it's flavored. I would add 1 pack per day. Now I'm drinking around 65 to 100 ounces of water a day, and that's all I drink. I was thinking, that's no big deal. One little tiny packet. I have a big container I put my water in. I use reverse osmosis. I take Keto Chow. I take their minerals and I put drops in there. I take iodine drops, put in it. I actually make up my water every day, put it on ice, and I pull from it all day long. And it kind of helps me measure how much water I'm taking in, where I'm at throughout the day, and it's turned into a habit for me to do that. It's all stuff that I've learned. By doing the test strips, I had heard in some of the videos that your glucose, a lot of times when you are just eating meat, that your body can convert protein into glucose. So I wasn't really sure whether it was the Element, and I'm not blaming Element because Element is awesome. It is great. They make a non-flavored version of it. So the first thing I did was I went out and purchased some of the non-flavored. I started using that, and I had a little bit of change. My ketones popped up to like 0.4, 0.6. My sugar went down to about 112 to 110. It was a little bit of change. I'm going, okay, well, we're going in the right way. And then I watched some videos with Dr. Boz on how to really get yourself in a ketogenic state and how to really get your ketone readings up. She said it would take probably about 48 hours to do so. So I did exactly what she said to do. And I went and got some chuck, and I kind of increased my fat content. Before I was eating 90-10, 88-12 ground beef, which is a processed meat because it's ground up, it's easier to digest. I was eating all different cuts of steaks. We went and bought a quarter cow. Then I found a thing called bit on beef that I would bit on steaks, and I was eating New York's, every kind of steak you can imagine. Healing Humanity, I follow his channel, and he talked about chuck, and there's another butcher that I follow, and I learned real quickly about cuts of meat and the chuck. I used to eat pot roast as a kid, and I learned about chuck steaks, chuck roast, and I love cooking. If I could do a barbecue, probably food truck or barbecue restaurant, I probably would do it in a heartbeat. I love barbecuing, from pellet stoves to cooking on fire. I just love cooking meats. I'm not a baker. I don't do dishes. I just like cooking meat. I went to Sam's Club, bought a couple chuck roast, and put it on my Traeger. I use Redmond salt for now. I'm getting ready to switch that because of Dr. Saladino and his study on salts, heavy metals, and lead. I made a chuck and ate that for breakfast. I cut eggs out completely, no eggs at all. I was using the Element as a non-flavored version, and I was eating meat, chuck. I tried to get my fat content to where it was close to 30% fat in the meats. I had even gone to the butcher and bought some lard or tallow, and I would add that to the ground beef and reground it to get the fat content up. Within 48 hours, in fact, the first 24 hours, my ketones went up again. It doubled within 24 hours. My glucose went down by another 12 to 15 points. By 48 hours, my ketones had doubled again, and my glucose went down by another, I'd say I was in the 80s, 88, 86 on my glucose readings. And the range for being in ideal nutritional ketosis, where you're burning fat, converting it into ketones instead of sugar, it completely worked. Well, through this journey, that was about 10 days ago. Since that point in time, I've lost about 5 pounds. It's really jumpstarted my fat loss. And it just happens to coincide with getting this blood work done today. So I'm getting close to Miss Lee's office. I'm going to discuss with her if she wants me to share more of her information. I'm super excited about this. I'm going to keep you updated on what I find out. Let me know if you want to know about the information that I found. My wife, we have done this together. We're partners. We talk, we try to do we do so much together, not only just a husband and a wife, but as a family. She's done fantastic. She's lost 55 or 56 pounds. She's down to her weight in college. She was a Division I athlete. Feeling great. I am too. I had knee pain. I had really bad wrist pain. Most of them were athletic injuries. I hurt my knee wrestling. I hurt my wrist playing lacrosse. So they were nagging. I thought it was just arthritis, but I don't know if it's the collagen. I don't know if it's because of the ligaments and stuff I'm eating. Something else that I added that's also important that I will add is that Paul Saladino, I listen to him quite a bit, and he has a great vitamin line. I reached out to him, got some information on what I was trying to do, and my heart, liver, organ needs. He makes this nutritional supplement, and he is an absolute wealth of knowledge. I think he really takes it so seriously, and I'm so appreciative for people like him that we have this ability to tap in and get this content from people like that. Do me a favor, if you like what, please please make comments. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you with some updates.